Join two sisters who explore the couples that fandoms adore. We write their stories in the night, in the glow of computer light. Eyes connect, clothing flies. In our head, canon love never dies. Sense looks that leave us pining. In deep forums, we are mining for this journey. Better strap in, because we all know that shit happens.
Welcome to the podcast that explores the couples fans can't stop dreaming about from the pop culture you love. Because when it comes to your favorite lesbian necromancers in space, you know we're in deep ship. We're your host. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Emily.
She likes nerd culture.
And she likes making podcasts, so we thought we'd join forces to make a podcast that gives a glimpse into fandoms and their favorite ships.
That's right. And if you have a ship you want us to talk about or want to learn more about, send them to us at shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. We are also open to your ideas, thoughts, and feedback on the episode. It's been quiet lately, and we're getting a little bit too lulled into a sense of security. So tell us what we're wrong about.
Yeah.
Give us that dread of seeing comment pop up on YouTube. That's like 3 pages long, and you're like, oh God. I need that adrenaline spike to feel alive.
Know somebody's out there at least.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, who cares?
That's right.
We're just doing this for fun. And we did this one for fun because I wanted to read this book. And we are covering another book. So we're like 3 for 3.
3 weeks of 3 books.
Uh-huh. And I think our next topic's also book adjacent.
Yeah, literary style. Yeah, but a classic ship. So see if you could guess what it is.
Yeah, book adjacent classic. So yeah, welcome back to the In Deep Ship Book Club.
I know. Oh my gosh, we're meeting every 2 weeks.
Yes.
I did not do the reading this week, but that's okay because I've read for the last 2 episodes.
Yes, true. And for this episode, I did quite a lot of reading. So I've actually, over the past 2 months, read about 12 and a half books. And we're going to talk about all of them today because
just get it out.
Yeah, I did it. I want credit.
Yeah, so, I know. Why read if you can't tell the internet about it?
Make content about it. So we're going to kind of focus on the 3 for the most of this episode, but I did want to talk about the other 7 and a half since I'm here.
That's a considerable amount of books.
There was a long series, and I'm not done. I've only gotten to halfway through the last one. So this series, I know that there's a fandom for it because I do see the main couple on some of the shipping list that we look at. And I don't want to get too into it because I kind of wonder if it's going to be maybe future episode or the genre or something. We might end up talking about it. But the series that I've been reading at the same time I've been reading this series is called Heaven Official's Blessing. So it is translated from Chinese, I guess not, Mandarin or whatever. It's a Chinese book.
Makes sense.
Translated to English.
The title.
Yes. Yeah, which is why the title's a little confusing. And I have read, so for the past 3 years, every year I have read one of the series from this author. I have one of the books here. The author is Mo Zhang Tongzhu, I think, or MXTX. I read a series every year. There's 3 series, so this is the last one. So I've now read them all. And I've read them all, and I do think that this one is the most romantic. This is the ship that worked the best for me. So this ship are the 2 main characters, and I have the book right here. So the 2 main characters we have are Jie Lian and Hua Cheung. So those are the 2 heroes. Jie is a down-on-his-luck god who spent the last 800 years kind of slumming it with mortals in ancient China, collecting trash and busking for pocket change. And then Hua Chang is the extremely powerful ghost king who's really cornered the market on yearning. Kind of his whole deal.
Okay, Ghost King. I like it.
Yes. So the unlikely pair, they become friends and they go on adventures. They uncover conspiracies in the present and find out how that ties into secrets from their past. And that's kind of what this author does really well is there's always a mystery in the present time. And then there's the mystery of but what happened in the past? How did we get to where we are? And then tying them together. That's always really entertaining for me. But I really liked their dynamic, and I liked the pining. I liked the flirting. I liked how Hua Chung was always like secretly there for Zaye and would kind of like follow him around. He was always like there during the adventures, but he would only step in if his man was in trouble. He would just like let everybody else duke it out. But he's like, I really only care about one person in this place. There's a scene in the second book when they're in the casino. I was giggling. That was so cute. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, so last week, Rachel gave us her rankings of the Bridgerton series. So I'm going to do my rankings of the MXTX series, except I'm not going to like place them first through third. I'm just going to do my like superlatives.
Okay.
So I'm already going to say my favorite couple and like love interest is this one. But my favorite character would be Wei Wuxian from Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which I believe is the second series. And then Scum Villain Self-Saving System just holds a special place in my heart because that was the first one I read, and it's such a fun, goofy time, and the premise is so wacky.
Well, yeah, good enough to pull you into reading everything the authors made. So it sounds like they've written a lot. So this person is like cranking out a lot of books, right? They have 3 series, and each series is how many books?
Between 3 and 8.
Wow. Okay. That is a lot of writing. That's like AO3 level. Some of those folks.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's admirable.
Yeah. Well, they did start as web novels, so it is kind of along those lines. But yes, these are all complete series. But today we're going to be talking about a series that is not complete.
And the fans are on the edge of their seats.
Yeah. So today we are talking Bones, motherfucker. We're doing the Locked Tomb series, which
Bones
so far talking bones. I'm trying.
Bones.
I tried to repurpose a quote from the book. We do bones.
Okay.
So far, it is 3 books written by Tamsyn Muir, starting with Gideon the Ninth, which was published back in 2019. I think to like quite a bit of acclaim. I won a Locus Award and was a finalist for the Hugo and the Nebula, which are like the 3 awards I kind of follow because they're all sci-fi and fantasy, which is what I like to read.
Okay.
So I think it did pretty well. I mean, it's popular. I've heard of it. I kind of wanted to read it, so that's why we're doing this. The following books came out in 2020 and then 2022. And then the final book has not been released, which I didn't know when I started reading and is a little scary.
Yes, because you don't want it to go, what is the last Game of Thrones book?
The Winds of Winter. So yeah, we're not.
Yeah. We're not quite there yet.
Not quite in Winds of Winter territory.
Decades.
There does seem to be like updates occasionally. So I'm hopeful, but yeah. To be continued. So we don't have a conclusion for this ship yet, but that's, kind of the best.
Yeah, because then it lets us fill in the blanks for the time being.
Yeah. So the series is like kind of a combo of like sci-fi, horror, murder mystery, fantasy with like magic and swords. And at least in the first book, it's all written through the perspective and voice of like a 19-year-old kind of Tumblr user from 2019. Or maybe a Vine user, R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P. But yeah, that's kind of what I do know about this book series is like that voice of the first one is kind of what makes it stand out, right? It's got a little bit more of raunchy humor to it.
It's very internet-y, like specifically. So it's not even just like, raunchy, horny kind of humor. It's specifically memes.
Yes, none pizza, left beef.
Yeah, we'll get to that. How devastating that was.
Which I did not know until I started researching this. But did you know about that meme before?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
There's a lot. This one, there's so we'll get to it. A jail for mother is in there. But
apparently I don't know the internet.
Yeah, me and Tasman are on the same parts. Maybe then you're not on those parts.
Okay, well, I'm glad she found her audience.
Yeah. But we're waiting on this final book. But this big kind of window of time has given the fans plenty of time to like dig into the mysteries and like kind of create their own theories about what the fuck is even happening, because it's a lot and it is hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
So the story starts with just like a locked house mystery, kind of like Clue, where you can't escape and people are dying.
Yeah.
But then it kind of evolves and becomes this space epic that spans planets, dimensions, maybe the afterlife. That's part of the bit that I can't quite track. It involves like ghost of planets, rebels, dogs, and the apocalypse, and then what happened after. But that's just how sci-fi.
Just that? That's it?
Yeah, exactly. That's just kind of how fantasy and sci-fi go. The first book's always like small and contained, and then by the end of it, you're killing God. Or in this case, Jod.
Jod is dead.
I kind of like him. I think he's interesting. But just to kind of prime you guys with what's happening here, this world, the basic premise of the first book is that God Emperor has some job openings in his immediate reports. And as a recruitment event, he invites the scions of the 9 houses / planets, which took me too long to figure out which 9 planets specifically. Should have tipped me off the fact that there's 9 of them. So these 9 planets make up his empire, and then the scions are all out a +1, so they bring their bodyguards to what is essentially a spooky escape room.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like fun vibes, you know?
Yeah.
How do we pick our successors? Oh, they not like just successors, but like they get to become gods, essentially.
Yeah, they're immortal.
Yeah, and they're like, we're just going to have a spooky Hunger Games escape room.
Yeah, I knew it was trials, and I was expecting more like trial 1, trial 2, but that's not really what it is. It is like an escape room. Like you solve a puzzle and you get a key and you get to open a new room, and then you get like hints and stuff.
Of the next one.
Yeah.
It's definitely a creative format. I don't think there's many books like it.
No, yeah. I enjoyed it. So the scions that are invited to the escape room, they all happen to be different types of necromancers, and then their bodyguards are referred to as cavaliers. So they're swords people who fight with rapiers, that have sworn to kill and die for their necromancer. So there's mysteries, there's murders, there's mysterious murders, and it's all told through the perspective of Gideon, who is the begrudging cavalier for the 9th and most goth house, which out of 9 houses of necromancers, I feel like is a pretty good achievement.
Yes.
They're
it's
the
like
most
we just
goth.
gotten more and more goth with every episode lately. It's like, instead of just a book club, the In Deep Ship book club, it's like the In Deep Goth club.
Like, how many ghosts are there? How many skulls? Like, it's just more and more.
Right. When I did see an illustration, again, it felt very like Hunger Games-y, or maybe Divergent, honestly, where it's like, this is one planet and this is their personality.
Yeah.
Everybody on the planet has this personality and they like fairness. This planet, everybody likes pretty things and they're beautiful, and it was funny. And then you go through all 9 of it, and the last one's just like these 2 little goth kids with their skull makeup, and I was like, wow, they're really sticking to it.
They like bones.
Designation. Yeah. Okay, so two questions based on that kind of synopsis. What's a scion? What did you call it?
Oh, I call them scions. That's not a word in the book. They're called like adepts. But scion, I think, is just heir. Scion's a descendant, heir, or young member of a wealthy, influential, or noble family. See, this is my like fantasy roots coming out.
Well, I was like, is this a term that I should know, like from the book? I thought it meant something, but okay. Well,
no,
it's
just a word. It's not used in the book. They're called like adepts or something.
They're like nobles. They're like prince and princesses.
Basically, yeah. They're like they're the heirs to the houses. They're in charge.
Yes. And then also, why is everything bone magic? Like, why are they all necromancers? Like, there's no other kind of magic, right?
No, they're all different types of necromancers. So yeah, the 9th house is more bones.
I guess just because.
Well, because their god is Necro Lord Prime. He invented it.
Of course, Necro Lord Prime.
Yeah, just a society built on necromancy.
Okay. Took over 9 planets.
Yep. It's kind of the necromancy empire. But yeah, that's the summary of the first book. Yeah, we're focused in pretty tight on Gideon, who just mostly wants out of there and to flirt with pretty women. And there's going to be some stuff about the second and third book, but there's not as much about like with the ship. And I don't really want to get into what happens next. That's like I said, I don't necessarily understand all of it.
Oh, okay. And there's like also like spoilers.
Yes.
Like you don't want to give out too many because there's a pretty big twist at the end of book 1, right?
Yeah. We're going to talk about some pretty big spoilers. But yeah, I don't want to hit all of them. But this isn't, a book review podcast. But
Although we're getting there.
I know.
It's what we want to be when we grow up, apparently.
Yep. But I did really like these books, so let's put it out there. I mean, I feel like it's going to be obvious. I especially liked Gideon. I liked her voice and her humor. I could see where, like, if you're not a fan of, like, kind of jokey books, I know some people aren't. It's also, very memey. So we've already talked about some of the best memes, but I remember in the first book, Gideon, like, nopes out of a situation when she sees someone she doesn't like. The most egregious example, we've kind of already talked about it, but it's when God, this happens in the second book. So it's when God, the Emperor Undying, the Kindly Prince, the Necro Lord Prime, John, makes a none pizza left beef joke, and I did have to close the book and walk away at that point.
Like, how does that even come up? What is the context?
I think he's talking about, like, the death of planets. He's like, I think it's something because he's keeping everybody alive, and it's like if he dies, all the planets die with him, and he says none planets left grief.
Oh, okay. Like okay. So this not like they're making specific jokes like based on Earth culture. It's just like the author is nodding and like nudge nudge wink wink.
Kind of. It's a part of her style. They are also descendants from our Earth. So at one point, God John quotes Poe, and I was like, oh, so this is our world. Like, this is after us. And especially God is very referential, so it's almost like baked into their culture because I think he would be like alive now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because I was like, where did these Earth references come from? Because hearing you talk about meme internet jokes, I was like, wow, this sounds a lot like my current book obsession, Dungeon Crawler Carl, where there is a ton of internet specific jokes. But in that case, it's explained away by saying the AI that's running this dungeon that they are fighting their way through was trained on our internet. So it's literally like if a Reddit moderator was running this multi-level gladiator match. So like that makes sense why it's making these kind of jokes. I was like researching this book and I just didn't know what the context for that was, and it sounds okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Like it's like far in the future humans,
yes,
whose god was maybe alive when the Great Pizza delivery experiment was conducted by Stephen Molaro in 2007. Right?
Yeah. So I feel like it's almost the shtick of the first book, and then you lose it a bit in second and third book, but like it is still how like their god talks. So. Okay. It is kind of in their society. Although Gideon, I feel like talks the most kind of like this. But that's also the character we're like the closest to in the series. The other books I feel like aren't as close to one character.
Got it. Yeah. And okay, so this sweeping space odyssey thing, this might be the sassy sister novels to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Mm-hmm. And I think our homework after this episode is you should read that and I'll read Gideon. Because the more I learn about this book, the more I'm like, I think I'd like it as well.
I thought it was fun. You got to go in being prepared to be confused, though.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm confused most of the time.
Yeah. You just got to like let it roll and just have faith that in the end, most of it will make sense or you'll have forgotten the parts that didn't.
Right. Don't question it.
But yeah, so that we talked about the none pizza left Jeep joke. There is also I have to mention it because it's just like the most diabolical dad joke that's ever happened. That one I kind of loved. Like, hey, whatever, I'm dad. You're just like, no way. It heads at like just a very, very like big moment. And then it's just like gets undercut with the hi, whatever, I'm dad. It's like, oh. But anyway, so I was just saying, all that's to say, I could see why this book maybe wouldn't be to everyone, but like personally worked for me. And then the second book is a lot in second person. So like you did this, you did that. And it's a bit of an adjustment if you push through. Eventually you kind of get used to it. And then I do kind of enjoy that because there's always like a really fun reveal at the end of like who's telling you the story. Overall, like I said, really liked it. And it's got swords and necromancy and that's cool.
Well, that's what I was learning about it. I was like, it's in space, but they use swords.
Yep.
Emily will like it. That's up her alley. No laser swords.
No laser swords. They're just good old-fashioned swords.
Perfect. Because they can manage space travel, but swords are still the best weapon of choice.
And that's it. Like, it's sci-fi, and they're, like, in space, and they do go to different planets, but that's really, like, as sci-fi-y as it gets. They don't really have technology that's that much more advanced than ours. They have necromancy instead.
Of course, who needs technology when you can make a skeleton do your bidding for you?
In the first book, there's, like, cool bits when they're solving the mystery where they're like, oh, these ancient rooms, they've been untouched. And then they're just describing like a regular room, like us, that we have. They're like these super old weapons called like guns.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's another word. It's like cheeky.
So, I mean, I read it. That's my experience.
Yeah.
I was aware of these books when they came out, when I started getting really into books around 2020. I did try to read it back then. I remember reading the first couple of pages back then. I remember reading them sitting at the car shop, like waiting for my oil change. But I just kind of bounced off it. And I do think it's like the sci-fi aspect, because fantasy I have no problems with. But for some reason you throw a space shuttle in there and I'm like, I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I did put it down at that point. I meant to pick it back up. It just never happened. Then my book club was going to do it, and I was like, okay, finally, I'm going to read it. But then I must have like been out of town that week because I didn't pick it up then. So I made us do it for the podcast so that I would finally read it. And I did read some of it at the car shop waiting for an oil change. So full circle.
Almost 6 years later. Wow.
Yep, finally.
2020 was a long time ago now.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember sitting there with like a mask, like reading on my Kindle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But
somehow I was not chronically online like I am now back in the early 2020s. Like, sure, I just like discovered TikTok in 2020, like I feel like most people did. But this one never crossed my path. Because usually we start talking about these fandoms and like it'll jog some kind of memory. I have no idea. Like, I don't think this ever crossed my path in the slightest. Like, you were talking about, oh, it's Gideon. And I'm like, oh, do they have an angry itch or something? That's basically, I have no experience until I picked up my phone and searched on TikTok. And I started watching it. And I was like, okay, that's the first time I heard about it. But I missed the whole Tumblr world. I don't know anything about Tumblr. So I'm a little bit outside the audience, or like the people who are in the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Because I did not know about None Pizza Left Beef until this research.
Really? That's like an old one. Do you know Jail for Mother? Jail for Mother for 1,000
you said
years?
that, and I was like, I know. Look at all those chickens.
That one wasn't in there.
It's a magical Leopolodon, Charlie. So between shoes and Vine, nothing.
There's what she studied the blade while you were doing something. She studied the blade. I think that's the internet.
Oof, I don't know that one either.
Oh, all right. Well,
what was I doing during this time?
I didn't know.
No idea.
Were you like on like Pinterest?
No, I didn't do Pinterest either. The internet was not. I don't know what I did. Podcast.
Well, I guess I am the audience. So
apparently that's why you handle the nerd culture.
Yeah,
and I handle the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about it so I can learn more, because so far I'm liking GriddleHark.
Yeah, so who is the ship exactly? So I've already kind of mentioned Gideon. So, first book, Gideon the Ninth. So her name's Gideon Nav. And the ship name is GriddleHark because Harrow, who we'll get to, calls Gideon Griddle. So kind of another one that has like an insult in it. But Gideon's backstory: she is one of the 2 remaining children on the 9th house. But she isn't really a member of the house. They kind of like found her mom in space, or like floating down from space or something.
Just drifted, just a drift.
Just a drift. She was already dead, but they were able to save her child that she was carrying. because they're like necromancers. They can talk to ghosts. They kind of, I think, listened to her like final thoughts, and all they were able to get was Gideon. So that's how Gideon was named. So initially, Gideon's placed in the like nursery with like 200 kids, but there's a disease that comes through and kills all the children except her. So she is like, for a little bit, the only child. She's like already an outsider, and now she's the only one that like survived this mysterious disease.
Okay, so there's like 2 thoughts here. Mm-hmm. 1, how is it a whole planet and there's only 200 kids? I didn't know. Was it like the civilization small, or are these just the 200 special necromancer kids?
No, it's 200 kids. It seems to be like, so the house is dying. So there just isn't that many of them left. And especially after the hit where all the children die. And it just seems like it's smaller. Like there's just less people. And maybe there's more people on the other planets. Like we don't really, like in Gideon the Ninth, you go to another planet and that feels like it's very crowded, very like populated. Mm-hmm. But I think, so maybe the other houses are, but the Ninth specifically is like dying out. There's just not that many people left, and they're all super old. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so they lost all their kids except for one very special orphan.
Yes.
Who's an outsider.
Yes.
Okay.
So she grows up.
I have never heard that before. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. She's like, they'll teach her so bad. And she's like, what if I have special parents? And you'll all feel so stupid. And it's like, guess what? But anyway.
Oh, no. Our parents are dead, right?
Well, I don't know.
Is it Job?
It is John. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the dad joke. It's like a conspiracy. So this is real. This is spoilers. But they make a secret child with his business, because they need his blood to unlock the tomb. And you unlock the tomb, it brings about his downfall. So he finds out that they tried to do this. They all think the baby died with the mom. So, but she's like, she's like listening in, and he goes like, oh, the baby died? Like, what happened to the baby? And then she like turns the corner and she's like, but I'm not dead. And he goes, hi, I'm not dead. I'm dead.
Oh no.
And you're just like, ah.
Throw the book across the room.
Yeah, I know. This big reveal of like God's her dad, and then it's this terrible joke. Yeah, that's like ends the chapter.
Oh man. Oh, but then again, see, I'm getting better at this because that is like very Ray from Star Wars, where it's like, I'm a nobody orphan. And then you're like, oh my gosh, maybe she's a Skywalker. And they're like, just kidding. She's a Palpatine. And it's like literally the same. Yeah. It's like her dad really is the big bad guy.
Yeah. Well, it's like it had to be somebody. Like nobody, the way she has this like mysterious beginnings. And then it's gonna, you'll find out.
Well, a phrase we learned from the Bylers is the Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
It had to go off. Some Chekhov's guns go off with the blast. This one went off with a groan.
Yeah. I didn't walk away like I did the other one. Yeah. But that's where this is going. But yeah, where it started. So we have Gideon so far by herself in this house. Or it's like a colony or something. I don't know. Or more like a catacomb. So she grows up in the Ninth house, with I imagine as like the Paris catacombs with like skulls on the wall, bones everywhere.
They love their bones.
Yes, they have animated skeleton workers. She's an indentured servant, and so she's basically treated like shit by everyone except the captain who trains her on how to use her sword. And that's like kind of her ticket out of this, because she wants out of Ninth house bad. She like hates it there for obvious reason. It sounds pretty rough.
Yeah.
But she's very good with her two-handed longsword, and she wants to join the army, like in her comic books, and get off this planet. But she is prevented from doing that, and then manipulated into picking up a rapier and being the cavalier for the Ninth house by the reverend daughter, which we'll be getting to. But yeah, Gideon, like I said, she's the narrator of the first book. She's very funny. She's very punny. She's very sarcastic, a little horny, and very like starved for attention. But she's also kind. She's kind of relatable, and she's very badass and ripped. And she kicks a lot of ass with her sword while wearing her signature sunglasses, which you see, that's on the cover of the book.
Yes.
And yeah, notably, she has red hair and then like yellow golden eyes. And she hates the Reverend daughter, who is named Harrowhark Nonagesimus.
Okay, one more thing, right, that I think is a note about Gideon is she doesn't have any magical power, right?
Besides whatever made her survive the disease.
She's just a normie.
She just is a good fighter.
But everybody else is a necromancer, right?
Half of the people.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Not everyone's a necromancer, but the like heirs to all the houses are.
Got it. And
kinda
speaking of heirs,
We have the kind of princess to the Ninth house, the Reverend daughter, Harrowhark. So she's born after the like plague that took out all the other kids. She's kind of like the princess of this house. And it's just her and Gideon are the only two kids left. She's very good. So like I said, all the kind of heirs have necromancy. She's very good at necromancy, specifically bones. That's her thing. We do bones. She makes bone constructs. She animates skeletons. She like chucks bones around. And she's just, like I said, the most kind of goth, the most necromancy out there.
Other necromancers are like better with like bloat or something. I don't know. It's just like necromancers. Like that's what I think is either like a dead body or a skeleton. I'm like, what other layers are there?
Yeah. So there's like ghost. So there's kind of like people who are they call it spirit magic. So they're like more like ghost summoners, or they talk to ghosts. There's a house that uses necromancy more for healing. So that's more like just body stuff.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, animated. She animates skeletons. Some of them can animate dead bodies with more flesh on them, and more like moving souls around.
Well, doesn't she also animate bodies that look like themselves still? But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And she likes to wear a skull on her face or something. Like they wear unique face paint.
Yes, the Ninth house. They're like very weird compared to the rest of even the rest of the houses think they're weird. They're kind of like considered a cult. So their whole deal is that they protect the tomb, the locked tomb. And yeah, so I think everyone else is kind of normal, but they're living in a crypt. They got bones everywhere. They paint their faces in skull makeup like it's Halloween all the time. That's just like a part of their culture. She wears bones. She has like a corset of bones, but like that's also like so she can fight and stuff. Cause that way she always has bones on her too.
Oh, so she can just make them like wing them around and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like her Batman belt.
She's all like got bones earrings, bones, like on her clothes. And her deal, she's ambitious and she's practical and kind of like cold. She's very like withdrawn, kind of cruel to Gideon. But she has a lot on her shoulders. She's, secretly been running the Ninth house, since she was like 10. And it's up to her to kind of save the house. And she's going to do this by becoming a Lyctor. So that is the like kind of demigod position that they're trying to vie for in the escape room.
That they're hiring for.
Yeah.
That they're doing a practical interview or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So she wants to become a Lyctor because then she'll be, like immortal and extremely powerful. And then she can save her house / like planet. And she hates Gideon. You see enemies to lovers thrown around quite a bit in like romance books and things, and then some of the times you're like, they're not enemies, they're just kind of like annoyed by each other.
They didn't like each other at first.
Yeah, these two hate each other's guts. The first chapter, Gideon is so close to escaping. She's so close, and Harrow shows up at the last moment and just rips it all from her. By challenging to her a duel and beating her, and it's just like it's painful to read because it sucks so much for Gideon. And Harrow says, she's like, man, you almost got it. It was just like luck that I even realized that you had this whole plan in the work. And she spent the night like burying bone dust into the ground so she can like prevent it. She like really, really planned to screw Gideon over. And she says, and I knew about this 2 weeks ago, and I waited to do it right now, 5 minutes before the shuttle lands, because it would hurt the most, and I fucking hate you.
Oh my God.
She's like, because I hate your fucking guts. Yeah, as I was like, oh shit. It like hurt me for Gideon's sake.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, no, they do hate each other.
Yeah, but that's also like, obsessed much?
Well, they're the only two there.
I know. Like, what is it? Them and some bones, right? Like, what else does it think about?
Yep. So that's our two heroines here. Yes.
Yeah.
So we do talk about a meet cute. Or get the boot. There's not really a meet cute because it's another one where they grow up together. They're the only two children around. So even though they don't like each other and they're just on like complete opposite ends of the social spectrum, they're just always in each other's pockets. Because it's like, what else are you going to do?
Well, yeah. There's no other children to play with.
There's no other kid around. So the defining moment of their relationship up until like the events of the book, Harrow decides that she is going to enter the locked tomb that their whole like religion and life is based on not opening. So she does enter it. She gets in.
What is it? What is the locked tomb? I mean,
it's a
whole
tomb
series. But who's in it? Like, why are they guarding it?
So if it is to open, whatever's in it will end the emperor.
Oh.
So
Jod?
Jod, yeah. So Jod locked whatever's down there, and if it was to ever open again, the whole empire would be screwed.
Oh, okay.
So she opens it. She gets in there.
Like sets off this chain of events that then.
Yeah, kind of. So Gideon sees her do it and is like, nice, I'm gonna get Harrow in trouble.
Her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she runs to her parents, who just like hate Gideon for like no real reason, and tattles basically. So then Gideon's sent out of the room. Harrow enters the room. When Gideon re-enters the room, Harrow's parents have hung themselves. So in front of Harrow.
Oh my God.
So
what?
It's like really traumatic for everyone involved.
Oh, well, yeah. So why did they do that? Out of like shame?
Yeah, because the tomb was opened. That's like their whole point. Yeah.
Oh my God. And so they're just like, well, we're going to kill ourselves right in front of you so you feel extra bad about it.
Yes, yeah. Yep, basically. So that, yeah, it really kind of ruins their any relationship they would have had. They both kind of.
That would be.
Yeah.
That's hard to come back from.
Yep. They both blame themselves and kind of each other for this decision these adults made. Because there would have been like 10 and 11.
This really intense decision.
Yeah. So
I mean, I've had some rough days as a parent, but oof.
Yeah, so that is why Harrow's been leading. She puppets her dead parents around to keep this a secret.
For 10 years or like almost a decade? Do they not rot?
Well, she's a necromancer.
Okay, but she was the bone necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the rules of necromancy.
Nobody does but Jod.
Jod knows.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely not a meet cute.
No.
I mean, from the moment the audience meets her to like that pivotal moment in the relationship, that's all very get the boot.
Yes, right. And Gideon's one of the few people who knows that this even happened. So she's kind of got that over Harrow this whole time. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But let's turn this ship around. So how does it go from there to romance? Maybe. So yeah, they have a complicated past as explained above, but they are still the only two people who knows what the other has been through. They are the only two who know what it's like growing up on the Ninth House by themselves. And that Harrow's been like puppeting her dead parents for years and years.
It's like running a whole planet as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, as a child. And then they get sent to the spooky escape room, which is called Canaan House. It's kind of them against the rest of the necromancer cavalier sets. They don't have to compete, but they don't really understand that they don't have to compete, so they do end up competing. And at first, Harrow refuses to work with Gideon. She's just like, I have to bring a cavalier and you'll do. So there's like no other real options. So you just like mind your business, don't talk to anybody, and I'll just do this myself.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work. Harrow almost dies, and Gideon has to go like find her when she goes missing for a couple days. So Gideon finds her, saves her ass with the help of my favorite, the Sixth House. And they realize that to get through this, they're going to have to, work together.
Oh.
So they have to work together. So that they start building some trust. And to get what both of them want, Harrow wants to be a Lyctor. Harrow's told Gideon that she does this, she'll let her go be in the army. So to get what they both want, they have to work together to get through this. And they start making progress because they're both very good at what they do. So they start trusting each other. They have each other's backs. You see this. Gideon lets herself be used as a battery for Harrow's necromancy during one of the trials. And then Harrow is very like protective of her after this. There's like someone else who's trying to help. She's like, get away, you know, don't touch her, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Which is always nice.
Yeah. So she uses her energy to animate dead bodies or something. Is that what you mean by be a battery?
Yeah. She uses like Gideon's life force, and it's very painful. She just does necromancy stuff. And if she were to stop, she would die. So it's a whole, like, Gideon has to persevere to keep Harrow alive.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's intense.
Mm-hmm. And then Harrow backs up Gideon during a tense moment with the other characters. Gideon, you know, she says that she needed Harrow to stand up in this moment, and she does. And that it's kind of like Gideon wants to step in, and there's like some bullying of another house because they've decided they're weaker. And so she wants to step in, but she can't without her like adept kind of giving her the window to do it. And Harrow, even though it doesn't really benefit her, she kind of steps in so that Gideon can stand up to bullies and help out their kind of friends.
Oh, I like that.
This is the coolest scene in the book. I loved this.
And it just shows that like Harrow can have empathy, right? And like think of other people too. Because, you know, you think of like a princess or somebody who's been cold and aloof, that they're not really necessarily thinking about other people, but it kind of shows their softer side.
Mm-hmm. And that they can like kind of work together to meet each other's goals.
Yeah.
So
like
even though maybe
for Gideon.
Yeah. So like Harrow doesn't super care, but she knows that Gideon wants to step in. So she's going to do her whole like condescending princess act. And then she like answers a duel for a different house to like help protect them. And then Gideon gets to step in and like flex her muscles and stuff. So they do make some progress for a bit. And then Gideon thinks that Harrow went and murdered someone like kind of without her.
Yeah.
So that throws some doubts into their like relationship and their tentative alliance with the super cool sixth house. But investigate, they clear that up. She didn't do it. The guy was dead already.
Yes, because people just start dying in this spooky escape room.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. People start dying mysterious. It's one of those where it's like, don't get too attached to anyone.
Because you never know.
Yes, they start kind of and then there was one in through the house.
Yes, it's like space necromancer lesbians turned Agatha Christie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, who's doing the murdering? Is it a person or a ghost?
Ooh.
Actually, it's pretty close to this, and then there was one. Anyway. So, yeah, after that little dip in their relationship, it kind of opens the door for them to have, like, a real heart-to-heart. And so from there, they talk about, like, what exactly happened when Harrow's parents died. They talk about the disease that wiped out all the kids, what that whole deal was. And in the end, Harrow levels with her that, like, what she's had to live with, what she's had to kind of, like, carry with her throughout her whole life. And how, like, what her parents did to conceive her, and how they died due to her actions. And Harrow explains she was so mean to Gideon because she herself wanted to die. And Gideon kind of, like, has a new understanding and, like, forgives her, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he forgives her. She at least, like, pities her. And that kind of brings them to just an understanding of each other and their lives.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yep.
The intimacy there.
Mm-hmm. And then the necromancer cavalier swear to be together forever, have each other's backs. And that's one flesh, one end. So now they are
That's pretty
official,
romantic.
Yep. Necromancer and cavalier.
Bound together for life.
Mm-hmm. Which is not that much longer for one of them. So
here comes the twist.
Big twist at the end of the book. So they figure out who's doing the murdering and stuff, and they discover what it takes to become a lictor. And to become a lictor, the necromancer has to murder their cavalier and, like, eat their soul. And Harrow won't do this. So she's not going to do that to Gideon. But in the end, when they are kind of backed into a corner by the big bad, there's, like, no way out. They can't fight their way out. Harrow is willing to sacrifice herself to save Gideon, and then Cam is also there. But before she can do it, Gideon goes first. Gideon kills herself so that Harrow can eat her soul up, become a lictor, and become powerful enough to defeat the big bad and survive. And I cried a bit here.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
I was not expecting. I was like, this can't happen.
Oh,
She's got a mysterious parents. Like, clearly something else has to happen.
She can't be gone. Like, it can't be done.
Yeah. And she's not, so don't worry.
Yeah, I figured with 3 books. Like, come on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, especially it's such a likable character.
Yeah. You're the whole book you're in her head, basically. It's not first person, but it's like you're in her head, and then it's like, how can she die? Like, what else is going to happen?
Tell that to the people at the end of the Diversion series. That was shocking. That was where I wanted to throw the book around across the room. But,
yeah, so Gideon's willing to sacrifice herself for Harrow.
and
Harrow says no thanks. So in the second book, you learn that Harrow can't accept Gideon's sacrifice. So and also, like, she doesn't want her to be dead forever, right? So instead of consuming her whole soul, she gives herself basically a lobotomy and removes all the parts of her brain that remember Gideon. So she, like, wipes Gideon from her brain. So she's like, if I don't remember her, I can't eat her soul. So instead, she becomes kind of like a half lictor, and Gideon's just kind of like riding around in there.
in her head? Or
Yeah. So she's
a
who
ghost
is talking.
or like
Yeah.
oh.
Like you
So
do
it's
this,
still
you
from
do
her-
that. It's
okay.
Gideon telling her what she did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's not aware of her. So, like, if she's reminded forcefully of Gideon, she, like, shuts down, throws up. Like,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, she doesn't know what has happened. She writes some letters to herself to kind of explain what's going on, and she has one for Gideon, but someone else is holding on to that. So later in the story, just in like reference to like the ship, she has a series of dreams she goes through. She leaves her body for a little bit. In one of the dreams, there's a barista. It's like a pun or something. I don't remember the joke. Who we know looks like Gideon, and she gets all flustered. So there's just a little, like, little
Yeah.
something's going on there. Mm-hmm. And then while Harrow is out of her body, Gideon takes over because she's still in there. She's been, like, forced down. But she gets the chance to kind of animate the body. She's pissed that Harrow didn't make the most of her sacrifice. She's kind of like, what the hell,
Yeah, now I'm just stuck in here.
Yeah, and you're not even a real lictor. Like, like, what was the point? But when she does see the woman who's been flirting and kind of manipulating Harrow the whole book, she's immediately ready to kick her ass. So I did like that scene. She's like, you think you can fuck with her? I'm gonna fuck with you. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Okay.
like, want me to kick your ass now or later?
Oh, look at that. I like that.
Yep. And then she tries to stay alive because she's kind of waiting for Harrow to come back. But Harrow does not come back. She is told that her body is being, like, kind of controlled by Gideon while she's in her dreamscape or whatever.
Oh, so she doesn't want to come back.
Yeah. So she just, cause the ghosts she's talking to are trying to, like, talk her into grieving and, like, allowing herself to grieve Gideon instead of fucking around with her brain. So she doesn't. Like, she's kind of postponing it.
Yeah.
But then she finds out that Gideon is still around and is currently in her body. And she's like, just kidding. I'm actually just not going to come back and give Gideon a chance.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So there's, like, definitely some analogy in there about grief and whatnot. And then she was like, well, actually, just kidding. I found a way around it. I've defeated death.
Yeah. So, but, and in the end, it doesn't matter because I think Gideon and the body kind of die pretty fast after that. Gideon gets sucked back into her original body. Harrow is MIA. Harrow's body is being manipulated by Nona, who's a mystery. What's Nona? Who's Nona? But Nona in Harrow's body finds Gideon, who's kind of doing a, like, Sleeping Beauty act at the time. She's pretending to, like, not be there. She's, like, sleeping or pretending to be dead. Well, she is dead. So Nona in Harrow's body gives her a kiss just because she says you look like you wanted to be kissed. But yeah,
That's funny.
but then Gideon pretty quickly realizes that's not Harrow in there, and she's upset about that.
Yeah.
And is the saddest girl in the world.
Oh.
So
They just need to get back to each other.
Yeah, that's what Nona says. They're like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Gideon, why are you so bitchy right now? And Nona's like, she's clearly the saddest girl in the world. By the end of the third book, they are in a room together. Nona's gone back to where she's come from. Harrow is in her body. Gideon's in her body. Book ends. So they're in the locked tomb. The body that's in the locked tomb wakes up, swears loyalty to Harrow, and from the sidelines, Gideon yells, "Get in line, thou big slut."
So yeah, a little possessive, a little jealous.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that whole, that thou, the whole like epilogue is in like, it's in like an old timey kind of writing, a lot of thous, a lot of these, thoust. I'm hoping the last book isn't written like that, because that's more annoying to me than second person.
Yeah. Oh man. So pushing the envelope on fiction here, but I think I'm definitely gonna give the first book a listen to. I needed something.
The audiobooks are good. I did this kind of half and half audiobook and reading, and I did enjoy the audiobooks. Very helpful with the pronunciation of some names.
So that's the background, but obviously there's a lot to work with here. But why are fans so into GriddleHark?
Well, you have the complicated relationship, the enemies to lovers aspect, and I think, but also it's just like the devotion. So whether romantic or platonic, the bond in the book between a necromancer or an adept and their cavalier, it's just supposed to be like next level. Even you see it with the others, like pairings in some of the other pairings in the book. It's just like they are right, one flesh, one end. They're like two halves of the same person. Their souls are made of the same stuff or whatever, like from Withering.
Right. I mean, it's so funny. The more we do these, the more we just like liken it back to other ships, because like this one was this element here is reminding me of Z-Link, where it's like the knight and the princess, and they'll always find each other, and they're like their souls are connected together.
I've seen like paladin is like what Gideon gets called, kind of by people on the internet and stuff. It's like it is that like fealty thing. It's with your king and your knight, putting the other person above yourself, like always.
Yeah. And definitely the different power dynamics and whatnot, social stuff. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. But it is funny that the whole thing's like one body, one end, and then it's like instantly like, just kidding. Well, I guess they used the cavalier's body, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So, you murder your cavalier and they become a part of you. But it only in like the worst way. Later in the books, there's like better ways to do it where you actually like truly merge.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens if that's where this goes.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah. But I have a couple of like kind of quotes, that I feel you read the quote and you're like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is the scene. It's in Gideon. They're in they're in a pool. This is during the like heart to heart where they really level with each other. So, this is Harrow saying this. She says, I have tried to dismantle you, Gideon Nav. The Ninth House poisoned you. We trod you underfoot. I took you to this killing field as my slave. You refused to die and you pity me. Strike me down. You've won. I've lived my whole wretched life at your mercy, yours alone, and God knows I deserve to die at your hand. You are my only friend. I am undone without you. And I was like, they're gonna kiss.
Yeah, that's pretty intense right there.
That I am undone. Yeah, I was like, I heard that quote and I was just like, there's the podcast. We don't even need to talk about the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't know who reads that and thinks like, yep, that's just platonic.
Yeah.
But it definitely hits to like the more intense relationship of being like the only two.
Yes.
And I like that as like, we tried to make you, we tried to squash you, and in the end, I need you. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she calls her the flower of her house later.
Aww.
She's like, you're like the best of us. Yeah.
Aw, that is sweet.
From like, I hate your guts. Yeah.
Right. Well, as I said, the intense feelings.
Yep. And then that's kind of reflected. So this next quote I pulled is from Gideon. So this is when Gideon is in Harrow's body. She is explaining her motives to bitch twin Ianthe. Don't like the
Is that
bitch
her
twins.
real name, or is that what you called them?
I call her bitch twin. No, that's not. Her name is Ianthe, but I don't like her.
Okay.
But she's the one. She's kind of been flirting or trying to like mess with Harrow. And so Gideon's kind of calling her on her shit. And so Gideon tells her, if you think anything I did to make her love me, then you don't know anything about her and me. I'm her cavalier, dipshit. I'd kill for her. I'd die for her. I did die for her. I'd do anything she needed, anything at all, before she even knew she needed it. I'm her sword. You pasty-faced Coronabeth-looking knockoff. That's her sister, the other bitch twin.
Okay.
And then she thinks, always your sword, my umbral sovereign, in life, in death, and anything beyond life or death that they want to throw at thee and me. I died knowing you'd hate me for dying, but you hating me always meant more than anyone else in this hot and stupid universe loving me. At least I'd have your full attention.
Okay. Stop. I mean, like, I don't think that's super romantic, but obviously
And this
they're
is,
in love.
yeah, and this is her telling Ianthe that it's not really romantic. It's like, it's the fealty thing. It's the devotion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. At least I had her full attention.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's the devotion, right? And then it's the yearning. They only are really together in that first book. And then since after Gideon dies, at least one of them's dead at any other point during their following two
somebody's
books.
removed from their body.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Harrow would rather forget Gideon than like free with her, and Gideon's mostly thinking of Harrow once she comes back into her body. It's they're trying to get together again.
They're down bad. Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, those are the two quotes. When I heard them, I was like, oh, they're going in the show. I feel like that kind of just
Yeah, those are good ones. Then good on you for like marking them, because I always hear things like that when I'm reading, and I'm like, oh, I'll just remember. I never do.
Well, yeah, it's just, those are the two where they're like, this is they really spelled it out. This is what we are.
The thesis of GriddleHark.
Yes. And so those, I feel like pretty much explain it, but you do have some critics. And some of this, even Gideon, is aware of. So number one problem, I think, with the ship, Harrow is in love with a dead girl. Yikes. So when she unlocks the tomb, she finds the body. So that's what is in the tomb, is the body of a beautiful young woman. And she is kind of suicidal at that time, but she decides in that moment that she is going to live so that if this body ever comes back and wakes up, she'll be around to see it. So she's kind of living for this dead woman.
Okay, so this is a piece of information that I would have needed earlier, it sounds like. So she's like just in love with this concept of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically.
And that's the one who wakes up in the end.
Yes, so we find out it's a
So
Lycto.
this is,
And this is a part of the big heart-to-heart that they have in the first book. So, Gideon is aware of this. And she tells Ianthe because Ianthe's kind of trying to like flirt and stuff and manipulate her and like appeal to her in that way. And Gideon's like, haha, it'll never work. She's in love with the dead woman.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
And that's kind of where it gets to where Gideon's like, you think I'm doing this so she loves me. And then also they're just not together through 2 out of, 3 of the books that are published. One of them is always dead or in some other dimension. And then kind of my own criticism, and I did see this a bit, is that they do flip pretty fast from like hate to devotion. Because that all happens in that first book, and then there's also like a lot of other stuff happening in that first book. And then so they spent years hating each other, and now they're willing to die for each other, and do die for each other in Gideon's case.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like the relationship where you're like, I kind of hate this person, like, oh, they annoy me, but then when you actually sit down, and all it takes is that one conversation to be like, oh no, we actually don't hate each other, we're best friends, or like we're in love. So it just kind of makes that before you know what to do with those feelings, you're just kind of like, ugh.
Right, you have intense feelings, so it's more acceptable at the time, or what you're getting back from the other person is fighting and hatred, but as soon as you're like, actually, let's not fight.
Yeah, let's be vulnerable for a second. You're like, wow, that person's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's complicated. It's just, I think kind of stems from them being, the only 2 girls in the world. And I saw some people compare it to almost like a sibling dynamic where you maybe don't get along with the other person or even, a very strong dislike of the other person. But that is the person who knows you the best in the world. They know you. They know everything you've been through. They know you the most. And no one else can fuck with them but you.
Yeah. Maybe. From the womb to the tomb.
Well, it's literally the tomb is where they grew up.
Oh, yeah.
That's GriddleHark. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, it certainly captured fan imagination and attention too, just by the amount of discourse about it on TikTok. And art. There is a lot of art that I saw just in fan edits.
Yeah, it's got a pretty active Reddit, although less so like shipping focused, because it's mostly just like what's happening. Let's like, theorize about what's like John's deal. What's the deal with the ghost planets? What does that mean? So that's, a lot of discussion online, but more on just the books themselves and the plot and the story. A lot of fan art. I see a lot of fan art on Tumblr, and mostly Tumblr is what I look at. So
yeah, well, that's the place they were born out of.
Yep.
That makes sense, and I can see where they just really lend themselves well to fan art because of their like very unique looks. They're very like recognizable and distinct with their face paint and their hair and their little outfits, the corset of bones and like all that stuff.
Her corset, Gideon's like bright red hair and sunglasses. Yeah, kind of like iconic.
Yes. Yeah. So that's like, if you want to write a book, you need to have your characters have to be like uniquely like that. So people can make fan art and instantly recognize it.
And for a book, it's like not easy, but it opens it up for cosplay too. Because I also saw a lot of people cosplaying.
I saw a lot of cosplay as well.
Yeah, because they got a specific look. And they're also on the cover. I feel like that helps.
Oh, yeah. I can respect that because it means that your main character is not a self-insert where it's just like the back of their head and the wind, hair blowing in the wind.
No, and they are all, I didn't mention this, they're all from New Zealand.
That's where it all originates from?
Yeah, that's where God's from.
Okay. That is fair. Well, if there is a lot of fic out there, that's a considerable amount of fic.
I saw 6,000, or I think over 6,000, like 6.5-ish on AO3, and about half of them are tagged Gideon and Harrow.
Yeah, that's more than Wild Hops, like a very well-established ship, right?
Yeah, people like this pairing. And I saw some stuff, people, talking about like where you think it's gonna go. People are not hopeful that it'll have a happy ending, but there was... I mean, Gideon did die at the end of the first one, so maybe not setting the best precedent. But people are like, well, if I wanted a happy ending, I'll read fanfic.
There you go. Because
maybe some coping there.
That is what it's there for. Yes. Wild Hops was 2,400.
Oh yeah.
And then a new segment that I want to add is I feel like so many of these ships and like these stories are complemented by music and songs, which I think is a big part of why I like fan edits so much. So I wanted to add a segment to the fan art piece where I throw out some songs that I think fit, or the song that fits this ship the best. And this one, I was inspired by a fan edit, and I think the song that I would ascribe to GriddleHark is Love Me Dead by Ludo. Do you remember that song?
No.
Oh gosh, I feel like we got to figure out a way to slice it in because I can't sing it. I don't want to be singing every week. But he goes, she moves through moonbeams slowly. She knows just how to hold me. It's like very 2000s emo. But there's like lines in here like, you're awful. I love you. This was inspired by a fan edit done by creator Lesbian Lake Trout on TikTok of this year. So pretty recent, in January. And one of the top comments was a account called Juno Harm. And they said that they do a Gideon drag routine to this song. So apparently it's found to be fitting. And I like it. And it's different than the very popular songs that go with the romantic ships. On that note, let's talk about the OTP. Let's do our OTP score. Cool. Okay. So do we see it?
Yes.
Yes. In bold print. Do you want to see more? I feel like I do. I feel like this is going to be for somebody who hasn't read it, I feel like it's going to be high.
I can't get it out. I mean, I don't know if I want to read fan fiction, but like I want them to get together in the next book.
Yeah, you want to see them together in canon. Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, they have good banter. I didn't talk about that. They're always like kind of, talking shit to each other. It's cute.
Oh, I like that.
Well, it's Gideon's fun to, she's funny. Swoon factor.
I'm going to say solid butterflies from the lines that you read. Because I don't know if that's like...
I'm going to put it a little higher. I'm going to say love of
Yeah.
a lifetime because I feel like they have something there that they're not going to... Whether it's romantic or platonic, you know, it's like that's their other person.
Yeah,
Even
that's
if
fair.
it doesn't work out.
Well, the fact that they're like dying back and forth for each other, that's probably a little bit more than butterflies. I just got stuck on butterflies because that's what I felt when you read the lines that they said about each other. Chemistry factor. Again, I feel like I would have a better grip on this if I read the book and like actually had the banter, as you put it. So what do you think?
I don't know. Because like, it's probably going to be a very personal, like preference type thing. I feel like almost Harrow has like too much going on to be like worried about sex.
Yeah. Okay.
Chemistry. Ooh, I don't know. And they're also, again, I kind of wish I had like only read the first book almost because there's so much stuff that happens afterwards that I feel like it's like diluting their initial relationship a bit.
Yeah. So you'd say they're more swoony, like high romance than like steamy.
I'll go in the middle, I guess, because in the pool scene, I was like, oh, they're gonna kiss. So there's like some tension there. Okay. Would they be good together? Oh, I'm not sure. I want to say some red flags, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, it's you know, it's not toxic. I don't know. They're like constant sacrifice for each other is maybe not healthy.
Yeah, okay, I could see that from some of the things that we talked about.
Yeah, you know, making yourself forget them entirely.
Or them hating you is better than anybody else's love because then you're at least getting their attention. Yeah, that's kind of red flags.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, do I want them to be together? Yes. Are they are they good together? Not necessarily. And that's okay in fiction, you know? Is this story interesting? Oh, yes. I don't know if it's
you told your friend me about it.
Yeah,
and I'm going to read it. So
yeah, it's definitely tell my friends about it. I'm not dying as much as I could be for the next book. Like there's some books where it like hurts to not get to the next one.
Yeah.
So I think a little too confused at all times to be like super, super into it. But overall, I still gave them all 5 stars.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was going to ask, since you read them, what is your Goodreads or your Storygraph rating? And apparently 5 stars.
Yeah, I believe I gave them
nice. Okay, so 5 stars for the books. What does GriddleHark get from your OTP score?
Personally, I got a 65.
Oh, I'm lower this time with 60%. Which, again, I like it. But I think as we dig into it, this is why we had to have these different questions, right? Because after we talked through it, I'm like, yeah, I like it. Like 8 out of 10. But then you look into it more and you're like, yeah, you can see where it's definitely different levels. The different components factor in.
It's like the different components. So I like the 2 characters. I like them, like the thing they got going on. But yeah, I guess the lowest was, it's like kind of spicy and the red flags thing. But that's okay, because, you know, I can still like them and they not be good for each other because it's fiction.
That's the whole point of fiction.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is the fun of all of these ships. And if you had fun today, please leave us a rating or review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Tell us what you think about Gideon the Ninth and what did we miss? What did we get wrong? Like, we're sitting too comfortable here. We haven't been critiqued in a while. So let's have at it. Take our OTP score. Link is in the show notes. And you can also email us what couple you want us to do. Leave it in a 5-star review and we'll do it instantly. We'll drop everything and do it if we see it. I do check it more often now. So, because we missed one last year and I felt bad. But yeah, email us, put it in a review, put it in a YouTube comment. We appreciate you joining us. We just do this, catch up, a chat, and keep up with the pop culture a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of expand our horizons. You know, see what else is out there.
I never would have encountered this. And now I'm going to go read it. We'll be out there reading more books, watching more TV shows and movies. And then we'll be right back in here, your podcast feed in 2 weeks, because you know we're in deep shit.
But we've established we're different corners of the internet.
Right. Like, you probably don't get sad dinosaur edits.
No.
Meanwhile, I have to cry monthly about the fact that dinosaurs are dead.
It's just like R.I.P. dinosaurs.
They were here for millions, hundreds of millions of years, and they're just gone. Forever.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad? I'm like getting teary-eyed right now.